Oh, Tashidele, hello everyone. I hope all of you are keeping well. First of all, I would like to apologize on the last session. I didn't realize that my side the internet interruption was occurred. So I was just so engrossed into text and most of the time I talk closing my eyes. So I didn't really look at the screen. So um I think we just had a few minutes of sharing together with you all. Then after that, I was just mumbling myself. And unfortunately, on that day, my phone completely off. So Stephanie also unable to contact me, even though she called many times. So I apologize to everyone for the interruption. And I hope today um, we have a smooth session. Okay. So yes, in any way, how fortunate that we all able to come together um, to be in the same time with the same energy, same inspiration. Mm. So therefore, collectively, it is very powerful. You know, when we do good, in particularly like such as gathering of merits, accumulation of blessings, and making prayers dedication. So we take some moments collectively dedicate the recitations of varieties of the mantra that I very much chant together for all different purposes, keeping in mind all kind of challenges that people may face in relation to health, wealth, relationship. Then, as far as concerned, was globally, those conflicts, natural disasters, etc., etc. So these different type of mantras has a different, um, targeted purposes. Even though all those different mantras are the mantras of enlightened Buddhas and the deities. So therefore, it carried the same essence, but due to the different aspirations, of those deities, of those Buddhas during their journey time, that makes special contribution and special effectiveness and connection to different, antidote to different problems, to different people. So therefore, there are so many different deities, so many different Buddhas, manifest. So yeah, so that's my intention. Why uh, put together quite a number of mantras and recite, and not only to the living one, also for those who pass away, to benefit them, to like that. Then, in particularly, the Guru Rinpoche's prayer, which is so essential, so beneficial, especially during this difficult time of a lot of conflicts are going around in the world, natural disasters going around in the world. So, so we wholeheartedly dedicate through collective energy, dedicate to your own self benefit and your own family's benefit, then of course benefit of the rest of the other sentient beings, in particularly those in needs of the prayers support. Okay, so we do that on the basis of altruistic motivation, so that whatever uh, time that you invest, everything become Mahayanic Dharma, meaning everything become cause of numberless sentient beings enlightenment. We also do that on the basis of taking refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha, so that it become a pure Dharma spiritual Buddhist practice. Uh, so what really defined as a Buddhist practice is very much by the refuge, going into refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha. What really defined as the Mahayanic Dharma, defined by the altruistic intention, like that. Ozangye Jodang Zoye Jonang La Janju Badu Dani Jazunje Daji Jin Zoye Be Zonamye Dola Benje Sanje Druparai Jo Sangye Jodang Zoye Jonang La Janju Badu Dani Jazunje Daji Jin Zoye Be Zonamye Dola Benje Sanje Druparai Jo Sangye Jodang Zoye Jonang La Janju Badu Dani Jazunje Daji Jin Zoye Be Zonamye Dola Benje Sanje Druparai Jo Semje tamje dewa dang dewe gyudang debra gyuje semje tamje dunga dang dunga ye gyudang dawa gyuje semje tamje dunga mebe dewa dang mi dawa gyuje semje tamje nire chadang ni dang dawe dang nyong lang debra gyuru je semje tamje dewa dang dewe gyudang debra gyuje semje tamje dunga dang dunga ye gyudang dawa gyuje semje tamje dunga mebe dewa dang mi dawa gyuje semje tamje nire chadang ni dang dawe dang nyong lang debra gyuru je Semje damje dewa dang dewe gyu dang dembra gyu je semje damje dunga dang dunga je gyu dang dawa gyu je semje damje dunga mebe dewa dang mi dawa gyu je semje damje nire cha dang ni dang dawe tanyo lan ne bara gyu ro je Kangi doze ne zone dawa damje bambe je dambe je ne denze bang go dam de la cha ze lo dong ni ni je song do je be lam se je sen je kang je den de gun cha na pe mo den zen ja zo ma so wa de zo da gyu jing je lo Saji Beje Joje Mendo Tamari Rable Jin de Jambande, Zanje Jindo Mide Bovaye, Dugun Namda Jinla Jubara Jo Tabje Doje Jajere Doje, Jin Mendo de Bejoma, Seje Lumbo Dabo Zebego, Shaje Jabo de la Chazelo. Daya Tao Mune Mune Ma Muna Yesoha, Daya Tao Mune Mune Ma Muna Yesoha. Daya Tao Mune Mune Ma Muna Yesoha, Daya Tao Mune Mune Ma Muna Yeso. Daya Tao Mune Mune Ma Muna Yesoha, Daya Tao Mune Mune Ma Muna Yesoha, Daya Tao Mune Mune Ma Muna Yesoha. Dayada o mune mune ma mena yezo dayada o mune mune ma mena yezo Dayata omo gade para sam gade bude yezo ha dayata omo gade para sam gade bude yezo ha dayata omo gade para sam gade bude yezo ha dayata omo gade para sam gade bude yezo Dayata omo gade para sam gade bude yezo ha dayata omo gade para sam gade bude yezo ha dayata omo gade para sam gade bude yezo ha mi me zeve derjen jere se deme gembe ombo jambe yang ha de bomale jumzen samye da kanje gembe zojen songa ba lo san da be sha la so wa de Mime zeve derjen jere se deme gembe ombo jambe yang ha de bomale jumzen samye da kanje gembe zojen songa ba lo san da be sha la so wa de mime zeve derjen jere se deme gembe ombo jambe yang ha de bomale jumzen samye Kanchen jembe zojen zonga ba lo san da pe sha lo so wa de be ming me ze we der jen jen re se te me jembe on bo jambe yang de bo ma le chum se sa wen da kanchen jembe zojen zonga ba lo san da pe sha lo so wa de be ming me ze we der jen jen re se te me jembe on bo jambe de bo ma le chum se sa wen da kanchen jembe zojen zonga ba lo san da pe sha lo so wa de ming me ze we der jen jen re se te me jembe on bo jambe yang de bo ma le chum se sa wen da kanchen jembe zojen zonga ba Lojong tabi shabla sowande mime zewe derjen jere se teme jembe ombo jambe yang de bomale jamsen samwe da kanje jembe zoje zonga ba lojong tabi shabla sowande Omo mani peme hun 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 Omo mani peme hu, omo dare du re so ha, omo dare du re so ha, om dare du re so ha, omo dare du re so ha. Omo dare du re so ha, 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 omo dare du re so ha. Omodare dure zoha, omodare dure zoha, omodare dure zoha, omodare dure zoha, omodare dure zoha. Omodare dudare dure soha, omodare dudare dure soha, omodare dudare dure soha. Tayata beganze, beganze ma, beganze, beganze, ranza samungate soha. Tayata beganze. Beganze ma, beganze, beganze, ranza samungate soha. Tayata beganze, beganze ma, beganze, beganze, ranza samungate soha. Tayada beganze, beganze ma, beganze, beganze, ranza samungate soha. Tayata beganze, beganze ma, beganze, beganze, ranza samungate soha. Tayada beganze, beganze ma, beganze, beganze, ranza samungate soha. Tayata beganze, beganze ma, beganze, beganze. Ranza samungate soha, dayata beganze, beganze ma, beganze, beganze, ranza samungate soha, dayata beganze, beganze. Ma beganze, beganze, ranza samungate soha. Omo mare zemam soha, 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 omo mare zemam soha. Omo mare zemam soha, daje jawa tamje dan, kebra yela sambede, deni gemen se junjo, dubala me jinji lo, daja jungwe jese do, dojo mejo yanza so, semde semele jungwe. Jiba gwele nyodo jabdo so, jawa di nyodo dan, oze jema dubyo ne, dowa je jama leba, deye sala gwe barai sho. So we do the Guru Rinpoche prayer. First, we do the prayer protection from natural disaster. When obstacles arise in earth, water, fire, and air, to threaten this illusory body of ours with destruction, with no trace of doubt or hesitation, we pray, O Guru Rinpoche, with the goddesses of the four elements, you will harmonize the element into their natural state. Of this we have no doubt. To the lotus-born Guru of Ujjain we pray, grant your blessing so all our wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Sachu melo jungwe barje je julu ni je jibe de jungze yinye tezo me barai wa de we je jungwa shi ye la mu ro je jungwa ran sarai shi barai tezo mo me we je be mai jung ne la wa de samba lünye du barai jin je lo. The prayers protection from weapons and persecution. When faced by killers on all sides, who threaten us with the lethal weapons, with no trace of doubt or hesitation, we pray, O Guru Rinpoche, the protections of your Vajra tent, will come killers to panic and weapons to be scattered. To the lotus-born Guru of Ujjain, we pray, grant your blessing so all our wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Kashi shime maji thakuro yana ya senjaya nube ya depshin nyeba yana yinye teso eme barai sewa ya deve ya vijin dorje ya gurda ya denba yi shema ya denjin ya senjaya torvara ya ju ya vijin pema ya chune la ya sewa ya deve Samba lunye do barai jinje lo. The prayers to Guru Rinpoche for removing obstacles and fulfilling wishes. Embodiment of Buddhas of the past, present, and future, Guru Rinpoche, Master of all siddhi, Guru of great bliss, Dispeller of all obstacles, Lawful substitutor of Maras. To you I pray, inspire me with your blessing, so that outer inner secret obstacles are dispelled and all my aspirations are spontaneously fulfilled. Tisomo Sanje Guru Rimbo Che Ngudu Gunda Dewa Jimbe Shava Parje ayu kunze ayu dudu ayu trabe ye ze ayu zewa ye debso ye jinje alabdu ye zo. Chena ye zanwe parje ye shewa ye dan ye samba ye lunje ye drupara jinje lo. Omo ai oi benzarai guru bemai zede hong. Omo ai benzarai guru bemai zede hong. Omo ai oi benzarai guru bemai zede hong. Omo ai benzarai guru bemai zede hong. Omo ai benzarai guru bemai zede hong. Omo ahu ye benzara ye guru ye bema ye sidi ahu. Omo ye benzara ye guru ye bema ye sidi ahu. Omo ye benzara ye guru ye bema ye sidi ahu. Omo ye benzara ye guru ye bema ye sidi ahu. Omo ye benzara ye guru ye bema ye sidi ahu. Omo ye benzara ye guru ye bema ye sidi ahu. Omo ye benzara ye guru ye bema ye sidi ahu. Yeah, so make it as a strong dedication as possible. As I mentioned before, to overcome all the conflicts that's going on in the world, all the natural disasters, diseases. Here I am keeping each and every one of you in my heart, in my prayers. I dedicate for your safety, your good health, your long life, fulfillment of both your mundane and spiritual wishes. And you too collect in this collective platform, dedicate after dedicating for all sentient beings, then you dedicate for yourself and your family members also, okay? As what said in the prayer, you should do that without any, two-headed mind, the doubt, complete conviction and the trust in Guru Pema Sambhava's uh, capability to bless you. Tezumo Zanje Guru Rimbo Je Mudu Yagunda Deva Jimbe Shava Paraje Guze Dudu Tabu Ze Zuwa Devzo Jinje Labdu Chena Zanwe Baraje Shiva Dai Zamba Lungi Dobarai Jinje Jambe Bawe Jida Jambada Kundo Zambo de Dejinje de Da Gunje Jizo Daloji Jawa de Da Tamje Rabdongo, the Zonchebe Jawa Tamje de Moagana Judong about Daje Jeve Zawa Degun. Sambo Jeje Rabdongo Varaje, Pama Simje Tamje Denda Dejuji, Nedo Tamje Dado Don, Chanjo Semba Kana Sushuba, de Da Gunje Molam Dojuji, Semje Neva Jiniba, Nudonele, Taju, Duvenema. Dado Jongwa Me Barajo, Bedan Zoa Migabe, Jeno Semjera Kunde, Samba Chechen de Tashisho, Nimondele, Sendele, Nime Gunyandele, Ninze Tato Dele, Kunjo Somje Tashisho. Okay, thank you. Okay, yes. So we start the teaching. So today I will try to keep an eye on my screen, okay? uh, so we are studying the chapter 22 from the Great Collection of Lojong Treatise, the teaching on 8 sessions of mind training, which is on page 225 if you are using the collection text. So I very much done the introduction in the last session. So I will very much start straight from the reading. And in last session, I don't know, it's just hanging around in my head. When I talk about the Lama Atisha's, the number of Lama Atisha's teacher, I think I said it about 507. So actually it's 157, not 507. Yes, overall number of Lama Atisha's teacher mostly assert 157, and some assert 153, and some assert 150. So like that. In any way, so I usually count as 157th. So here, the text, in the 8th session of mind training, homage to the Mahayana spiritual teacher. In general, Atisha had 72 teachers from whom he received teachings on Tantra and the perfection vehicle. So generally, here is referring to the those masters relating to Lama Atisha, receiving teaching of the great vehicle, the Mahayanic causal vehicle, which is the Mahayanic Sutrayana, and Mahayanic resultant vehicle, the Tantrayana. So as far as concerned with, in general, the Mahayanic Sutra and Tantric Guru, so there are 72 teachers. And overall, in general, of different teachers of philosophies and many other treatises from all the different yanas, so there are 157. So these teachers in particular, reveal the teachings of the awakening mind. So the 72 teachers specially focus on revealing the teachings of the great vehicle, the Mahayanic teaching or altruistic teaching, which is called as awakening mind. And those among those teachers, among those teachers, in particularly focus on the mind training treatise, in particularly a targeted teaching on the bodhicitta, the awakening mind. Then there are 3 principal gurus who are the Maitri Yogi, Dhammarashita, and Serlingpa. Among them, it is his teacher Serlingpa that Atisha held in highest reverence. So among those Mahayanic teachers, even though the respect, the veneration, the regards that Lama Atisha as a disciple to have towards his teachers is equal. He see everyone as a manifestations of Buddha. Everyone among each other manifestations of each of the other gurus. But when comes to the kindness from the guru side that bestow onto him as a blessing, then there's one guru that one guru that who stand out among all those gurus, and that is the Lama Serlingpa. So among them is his teacher Serlingpa that Atisha held in highest reverence. So even the wording it says that as if Lama Atisha, have a bias among all the teachers. from his side. As a Guru Yoga practice from his side, the reverence is equal to all the Buddhas. But in relation to the blessing, as I mentioned, that impacted to the disciple, him, then that brings about a special relationship that, as a disciple, you cultivate with your Guru. Mhm. Mhm. Um, the basis for this claim is the following. While Atisha did not have reliquaries for others, he had one with the silver parasol for Serlingpa. While there were no monthly commemoration rites for the others, there was one for Serlingpa. While Atisha would place his, folded palm at his heart whenever he heard the names of his other teachers, he would place his folded palm at his crown whenever he heard the name of his teacher Serlingpa. And while no tears would fall when Atisha recalled the memory of his other teachers, this would happen the moment he recalled the memory of his teacher Serlingpa. Mhm. Then Atisha was once asked, why like that? So though you have many teachers, like 157 teachers, 72 teachers who grant you the Mayani teaching, mhm, why is that you have such a depth of reverence for Serlingpa? And Atisha replied, it is from none other than my teacher Serlingpa that I received the awakening mind that equalized the exchange self with others. So the main reason is that uh, even though that he received so many teachings on altruism, so many teachings on the Dharma from so many teachers, but somehow Serlingpa granted the transmission, the blessing to him. He able to transform his mind, from self-cherishing to cherishing of rest of the numberless sentient beings. Due to the blessing that he received relating to the care and the teachings of the Serlingpa, uh, care and the teachings of the Serlingpa, he able to let go of the self-cherishing attitude. He able to adopt the heart of cherishing the numberless sentient beings and well-being. He able to commit himself wholeheartedly for forever to work for the well-being of numberless sentient beings. So that kind of transformation was very much impacted to him when Serlingpa taught him the teaching. When he related to Serlingpa, he received those blessings. So therefore, that is the greatest blessing that he have received, the greatest impact that he received in his life. In that relation, then he offered the greatest reverent, uh, to Serlingpa. It doesn't mean, as I mentioned before, it doesn't mean that he don't show, the greatest reverence to rest of the teachers. There's no greater reverence than seeing, any of the guru as in Buddha, any of the guru inseparable from the Buddha. There's no greater reverence that disciple can show. So Atisha showed that to all the rest of the teachers. But when it comes to emotion, when it comes to the emotional relationship, the closeness, then he do not have that with the rest of the other teacher, comparing the what he have with Lama Serlingpa. You see, so from here, what we can learn, uh, the differentiation between guru and the root guru. There's a conversation. There's a teaching. There's a practice of relating to root guru. We call someone as our principal guru, our root guru. And the rest of the others are uh, our guru, but not necessarily root guru. So how? So many people do have this question: how to differentiate who is my root guru and who is not my root guru. You can have many numbers of root guru too, or you can have just one root guru too. or you can have entire of your guru as a root guru too. You see, mm, uh, or or if you are not up to that, then not necessarily that you have to regard, it's not something must that you have as someone as a root guru. And others are not like that. You can have a neutral to all the other gurus as a precious guru, but not necessarily as my root guru. So now, uh, the definition or the reason, of course, we already learned from Atisha's reply. His relation to Serlingpa is very much like he's relating to a root guru. The rest of the other guru is like he's normal guru. You see, so if you ask Serlingpa who is your root guru, if you ask Atisha who's your root guru, he will say my root guru is Serlingpa. And why? Whatever reason that he just pointed out, that is the reason. But if that reason elaborate more in a common language for us to understand, then which is also described more elaborately in the scriptures, then uh, the root guru is as far as concerned with the feeling, as far as concerned with the impact, then impact emotionally, then to someone that you really relate of changing of your ordinary life to extraordinary life, changing from your worldly life to your spiritual life, changing your life from a very negative person to a positive person, changing your life from a worse person to a better person. You see, no? uh, being so self-centered person to a more generous, more open-hearted person. You see, uh, the teacher that who made you from very depressed person to a more uplifted, more acceptance, more open-hearted person. You see, the teacher that who really sustain you. Even how many times you fall down, and how many times you falls, the teacher rescue you. Again and again, pull you back and to let you stand, like even numberless times, even entire your life, keep falling into doing negative, falling into being delusional, falling into being miserable, being so depressed. But then again and again, the guru, someone there who directly communicating with, never give up on you. Even how nasty you become, how negative you become, how much faults that you may have, how many time, how much that the guru have guided you, but still you fail to the guru. But then guru never giving up, and guru put extra effort to always bring how to say, bring you back to the track. Oh, you know that kind of scenario, that kind of experiences, the guru whom that you can relate to, that kind of scenario, that kind of experiences, that guru, that teacher, you can regard as your root guru. So like that. Now, from the intellectual, from the traditional or the scripture kind of definition, how to regard root guru is the guru who have been kind in the three times and the three ways. uh, you know so kindness in the three times is the guru who been your guru, give you the dharma teachings in the past lifetime, a guru that who guide you and teach you in this lifetime, and guru that who also guide you at the time when you are transiting from this life to next life, like such as at the time of death, at the time of intermediate state, making sure uh, that your consciousness, guided into virtue, uh, either leading you through the process of the death process, uh, then making sure that your continuum, get to the clear light, then making sure that your continuum through the intermediate state, that you still, travel through virtuous mind, so that your next rebirth able to take rebirth and higher rebirths, even enlightenment, or the guru, who at the time of death, that guru is either in person, blessing you, either in person doing practices of transparent consciousness, like kind of like pova, etc., or even the guru is not in person, but then you have some kind of blessings that receive from a guru, like could be like relics, or could be blessing strings, blessing pills, or the sculptures or stupas, or statues, or whatever the gift that you receive from the guru, that it become kind of representation of your guru. And at the time of dying, that you're able to focus on the remembrance of the guru, using that close object of reminder of your guru. So whenever when people are passing away, as a spiritual disciple, when you think of guru, that's the greatest protection. When you think of guru, that is you already get help to close the door to committing negative karma and following into three law realms. That's how guru assists you to take higher rebirths, you see. So uh, like His Holiness openly said that at the time, there are so many incidents that his disciples at the time of dying, reported that they call his name, they remember him, and even proven that through some clairvoyance and observations, their reincarnation was reborn in either in the Pure Land, or either in the precious human realm, or either reincarnated into their own family as a fortunate family member. There are many stories. There are many factual stories like that. You see. Then not only that, the omniscient Buddhas and omniscient gurus, like His Holiness say, at the time of dying, remember his name. Remember my name. He said, then you don't have to worry. Just let it be, and you travel peacefully. Your journey will be taken care. There are such a propositions are also there. You see. So in any way, so guru taking care of you at the time of dying is something like that. Then throughout 49 days, the guru is fully dedicated to perform prayers for you, and do all the necessary prayers for the disciple. That because 49 days is the most crucial period, the traveling through the clear light through the 7 weeks, which 7 weeks of 7 times of death and revive in the intermediate state. So each time that the intermediate state dies, they go through the experience of the clear light experiences. And when there's effective prayers, in particularly done by the guru to the disciple, then the disciples of clear light, even if in case unable to succeed achieving virtue, high realizations like emptiness, or dharmakaya like enlightenment at the time of the clear light death, but they still give you an opportunity to experience that kind of enlightenment and that kind of virtues 7 times in the intermediate state during 49 days. If in case during the 49 day unable to achieve the highest realizations, such as like Buddhahood, attaining Buddhahood, but at least since there's a conditional continuations of virtue that which is imposing onto you, infusing to you, supporting you, conditioning to you, your continuum have the full meritorious karmic causes to be reborn as a precious human rebirth, or reborn in the Pure Land. Yeah, you see. So so this is what called guru kindness in the 3 times. You see, like that. So such kind of guru, such kind of teacher, then you can regard that kind of teacher as your root guru. Doesn't matter that guru famous or not. Doesn't matter that guru carries some kind of title or not. Doesn't matter that guru is a yogi or not. Doesn't matter that guru is female or male or not. Doesn't matter that guru is sangha or layperson or not. Doesn't matter. As long as for you, the spiritually impacted by these 3 times of the blessings, then you can regard as your guru. Mhm. Then the benefit in the 3 ways here, referring to someone who have grant you grant you the vows, like such as refuge vows, such as sangha vows, such as bodhisattva vows, such as tantric vows, who have granted you that, either of that or all of them. Then the second one is someone who have given you the oral transmissions of the sutras and the tantras, like mantras, or someone that who give you commentary explanations of the sutras and the tantric teachings, as a commentary. Then the third one is someone that who initiate you, initiations of the any or the all of the four stages of the tantric classes, like Kriya tantric deity, like such as Kriya and action, like such as Cherezig, like medicine Buddha initiations, like that. Then such as Yoga Tantra, High Suga Tantra, like such as the deity of the Siddhamani Thara, like such as the deity of the like Vajrayogini, Guya Samaja, Heruka, Yamantaka, Hayagiva, etc., etc. You see, so so vow, transmission and the commentary, and the initiation. This is called as the teacher who is kind in three times. Was kind in three ways. Uh, so then there's also another way of understanding kind in three ways is guru, that someone who given you three kind of vows, three kind of precepts. The individual liberation precept, which included of refuge vow, 5 lay vows, and the monastic vows. That's called the individual liberation vows. The second one is called the Bodhisattva vows, like such as vows of vows of inspirational bodhicitta vow, vows of the engaging Bodhisattva vows. There are 18 root vows, 46 secondary vows. Someone who grant you that. Then the third one is someone who grant you the tantric vows, the tantric precept in relation to 5 Dhyani Buddhas, the 5 Dhyani Buddhas precepts, from whom that you have received. And then on top of that, who also received the guru disciple samaya after receiving the tantric vows. You see, so you can also understand that three blessings, three ways of blessings can regard to three kind of receiving three kind of vows too. So so whoever intellectually that or traditionally you have received like that, then you can regard this teacher as your root guru. So like that. Okay. So as I mentioned again and again, I want to remind that that doesn't discount the rest of the other spiritual teachers from your point of view as a highest reverence, equally to all of them. That which is seeing all the teachers as an emanation of Buddha or oneness Buddha, or seeing all the other gurus as an emanation, embodiment of your root guru. So as long as you're able to keep that reverence, you receive immense of benefit from all the gurus in relation to accumulations of vast merit and purifications of vast negativities. Because guru is not only the root of the path. The guru is not the foundations of all the good qualities all the way up to enlightenment, but guru is also one of the most powerful object. Among all the holy object, the guru is most powerful holy object. In particular, if you have a root guru, then that guru is the most powerful holy object whenever you relate to purify negativities, obstacles in relation to that guru. Then you purify. Like even when you do the purifications of obstacles and negativities in the practice of 4 opponent power, when you take the first opponent power, the reliance, you take refuge in the guru. You see, the first one is guru. Then the second one, the acknowledgement or regret of negativities, in the presence of the guru, in the presence of guru, if possible, lively in the presence of guru. If possible, you can directly, even like phone call or message today's time, best is like in person, directly mention to the guru that I have done this mistake, and I now know that all these mistakes are mistake, and I sincerely in front of you, I make a promise, I want to purify now. You can't do that directly with Buddha, the Dharmakaya. You can't do that directly with other the ultimate object of refuge. You have to be in their standard, isn't it? like that. We can only do with the conventional holy object like statues, scriptures, and the stupas in front of them. We do, but in the actual, the ultimate refuge, we don't have the ability to directly communicate, isn't it? But as a guru, the guru who is oneness with the Buddha, but came in the embodiment of ordinary person who is very similar to yourself, who is so down to earth to yourself, who the whole reason of Buddha manifesting in ordinary guru is to communicate with you, to communicate with the disciple in their level. That's the whole purpose, no other purpose. That's the whole purpose. That's the whole purpose. You see, so that's the only way that is skillful means is the only way to to really to drag the disciple from the muds of the samsara to the dry land of the pure land, or dry land of the virtue and enlightenment. That's the only way. You see, so therefore the ultimate achievement of the individual is the dharmakaya. So Buddha have not necessarily, if it's not for the benefit of other, Buddha don't have to appear into any of the form bodies like Sambhupakaya form body, Nirmanakaya form body. Not necessary. They have achieved the best dharmakaya, which is physical-less. You see, why they need to appear in this form body, like Shakyamuni Buddha, came into human world, manifested by the Dharmakaya, his highest achievement, to able to communicate with the southern world people. So he have to appear like a people. You see, so even to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, for us is still very far. We are not as fortunate as those of people during that time who met Buddha directly. You see, so therefore it is not just a 5 degenerate time, but even much more than a degenerated time in our time, and individual Buddhas appearing into ordinary guru, who is so easy to communicate, who can really it's very much like you can you're not supposed to treat your guru as your buddy, but very much like like you are like you with your guru like a buddy. you know uh, you know gu- uh, guru don't mind to enjoy meals with you. Guru don't mind enjoy laughter with you. Guru don't mind enjoy pasta with you, coffee with you, walking with you. You see, you see. So then guru don't mind to listen, uh, uh, like myself, when when I get opportunity, I say nonsense things to my guru. I say full of nonsense things to my guru, and guru patiently listen, and very very gently, very skillfully, guide me. You see, you see, so Buddha is so kind that they manifest even in that kind of down to earth, just to liberate you, just to communicate with you, so that you can able to free us from the oceans of samsaric suffering, isn't it? So therefore my point here is guru is most powerful object to purify your negative karma. So now the second antidote, second antidote, what was this? The third of the four opponent power is power remedy. Power remedy, there are, the name mantra of the gurus you can recite, or you can just call the name of the guru, or you can just simply, receive advice from your guru. Okay, I have this problem. I have this negativities. I need to purify. Guru guide me. So guru may give you all sort of advice. Maybe ask you to recite mantra. Ask you to do this practice, that practice. So following exactly like that as a guru advice is the application of the third opponent power, which is the power of antidote. There's no more powerful. There's no greater power than following guru's advice. That's the most powerful antidote. You see. Then the last one, from the fourth opponent power, the power of reframing. Making a commitment right in front of guru. Okay, I have done this mistake. From now on, I will not. I will promise in front of you that I will not commit again such kind of wrongdoings. You see. You see, and there are such negativities that which is in your life environment, let's say in family environment or job environment, no way you can avoid. Then at least say the guru, until I live from your place, that even course of my life, that I will not commit all these wrongdoings. And then in other time, that I will at least will not commit intentionally of those wrongdoings. So that way you complete the four opponent power, the most powerful purification. Then as taught in the all the different sutras, and including of Vinaya Sutra, there's not even one single negative karma that which cannot be purified by the application of four opponent power. You see, so that means even how heavy karma there is, you can purify like that. You see, so so therefore, having guru is very, very, very meaningful. Very meaningful. Uh, and especially having root guru, then you relate, with the full reverent, then quickly achieve purification of karma and accumulation of merit. There's no greater object than a guru to accumulate merit. Uh, you know, uh, every single service, every single, even when you make praises to your guru, when you make offerings, when you offer service, or the best service, best offering, best gift to your guru is following guru's advice for you to be virtuous. All the practices that give to you being transformed, you become happier person, you become more virtuous person. The the disciple, you know actualizing all the stages of path and enlightenment. That's the best gift. So the best gift for your guru is the practice. Then rest of the other conventional way of relating to the guru, abundance and abundance of opportunity to accumulate merit. So from that point of view, is guru is the the supreme kind of path, for our development, like that. Okay, so now so the following is the lineage gurus of this teaching. So not only but this particular teaching, but very much all the Lamrim teachings, all the Lojong treaties, that whatever we have covered, whatever we're going to cover in the future, uh, very much, including of the lineage of philosophy, it's very much the Kadamba master's lineage. There's a Lojong kind of lineage, there's a Lamrim kind of lineage, there's a philosophical kind of lineage, there's an instructional kind of lineage. All these are the very much the similar kind of lineage. And this lineage guru not only intellectually transmitted of those transmissional lineage, but they carry the lineage of having the realization of the path that described in the teaching. So from that, really makes this Lojong treatise is so blessed, so precious. Even we're able to practice fracture of it, we're able to practice even for one moment. It is so blissful, so beneficial, like that. So it says, in the teacher Serlingpa's lineage, there is a perfectly enlightened Buddha. So why start with the Serlingpa here? It's saying because the earlier Kadamba master, the Lojong and the Lamrim teaching, in relation to Tibetan Buddhism, very much started by Serlingpa, very much started by Lama Atisha visiting to Tibet around 11th century. And Lama Atisha received all the complete lineage of the Bodhicitta or the Mayanic Dharma from Serlingpa. From other master, he also received it, but partial, but as far as concerned with the Serlingpa, he received the complete. And not only that, he himself get impacted with the realization. So therefore, the starting here in relation to the, very much the nearer lineage is, starting from Serlingpa. Then there's a perfectly enlightened. So Serlingpa's lineage, when you trace back all the way to Enlightened Buddha, then Maitreya Buddha, Asanga, Bashubandhu, the Indian great pandits, Arya Mutisena, Vadanda, Bimuktisena, he to Paramasena, he to Vinitasena, he to the abbot Paramartha Verochana, he to Haribhadra, he to Ranna Sutra, he to the teacher Serlingpa, he to glorious Atisha, he to Geshe Domdamba. So Geshe Domdamba is the Tibetan practitioner that who is the first lineage holder that which passed by the Indian great master, the Kadama master Lama Atisha. So Lama Atisha is Indian, even though he is the early Kadama master's tradition, starter. Then as well Tibetan is a Domdamba, Geshe Domdamba. Then he who in turn transmitted to the three brothers. The three brothers is the Geshe Domdamba's principal disciples, the Kadamba Geshe Podowa, Geshe Chengawa, and Geshe Pujungwa. So those three are the one. In particular to Chengawa, so especially many of the Lojong teaching, including of this, passed to Chengawa, Geshe Chengawa among these three disciples. And Geshe Chengawa, he transmitted to Langri Thangba, then to Shawo Gangba. Then Langri Thangba gave it to Shangshung and Lugu. These two transmitted it to the latter Jowo. He transmitted it to the Abbot Lungnangba Rinpoche. He transmitted it to Tagun Sherab Rinchen. He to the master Shunu Samden, the custodian of the Buddha's doctrine. He to Buddharana. He to Kittisila. He to the one with the conqueror's name. This referring to Jalwa Sangbo. He to Punyarana, and he transmitted it to Shunu Gyalcho. So Shunu Gyalcho is the one that who compiled this great classical Lojong treatise. This lineage of the spiritual this lineage of the spiritual teachers up to the present, all of them up to the present, in this text is referring to the up to the present, the Shunu Gyalcho himself. But when we relate to us, when we relate to you and me, we have to, this lineage up to us, we have to refer to our immediate lineage holder, our immediate masters, from who them receive from their guru, which also trace all the way up to these lineage masters, and who transmitted to us. You see, so up to our lineage guru. This is the lineage of the spiritual teacher up to the present. All of them, it has been taught, attain higher realization on the basis of this teaching and experience the arising of extraordinary spiritual experiences. So no doubt, all the way up to our lineage. You see, unfortunately, unfortunately, like like if I am transmitted to someone, then very unfortunate, because I have the transmissional lineage, but there's no lineage of realization. That's very unfortunate. But up to our lineage guru, up to even to me, or even to you, you have received from other gurus. Even to me, I received from my late guru. He have shown all the sign of enlightened qualities. And even in his living ordinary life, is no doubt, every single act of his body, speech, and mind is absolute illustrations of the Bodhisattva's conduct, the purest ethical, moral conduct, most compassionate, most loving, most qualified, all the Mayanic Guru's quality that mentioned in the Maitreya's, the ornament of what's it, the Mayani Sutra, everything possess, everything possess. You see, so even at the end, when pass away, all the relics, when you explain, those are the like such as one example, like the white color relics is the the sign of the practitioner realizing emptiness directly. Those who achieve Arya being realize emptiness directly produce white color relics. Those who produce dark color, brown color, black color kind of relics is this sign, the impact of the practitioner realize bodhicitta, who become bodhisattva, you see. So even just from that, then when we talk about the tantric realization, the Tokja Chensum, when the master leave their heart, tongue, and eye, even you burn in the hottest oven for ages also, it will not burn. It will live fresh, indestructible from element, which scripturally emphasizes a sign of someone who achieved the two stages of tantric path, generation completion stage. So like late master like Geshe Lama Kuncho have shown all this, not just in his living life is an example of all this realization, but all the sign even after pass away, the proven, you see. Then when we talk about the transmissional lineage, or when you trace back his lineage gurus, all of the lineage guru that in relation to this Kadamba channel, Kadamba channel, and Geshela himself is regarded as a reincarnation of one of the, one of the great, Kadamba master. So like that, you see. So this is what it means. So therefore, even us, even though, we don't have the realization, holding the lineage of realization, but at least so fortunate that we received the transmissional lineage, and that is already set the basis to us. Now, only thing is we have to work hard. We have to dedicate rest of our life. Every single moment of our life. We have to live in Lojong. We have to live with altruism. We have to very much kind of, our system is completely inseparable from, at least using the intellectual, understanding of emptiness when you relate to experiences, and at least when you relate to other beings, experiences with altruistic attitude. So this is how we train. We try our best to meditate. We try our best to apply in the practice. And so since we already set the basis by the realized gurus, now we also have the full potential if we work hard. You see, if we don't work hard, then it's nothing to blame to the guru, isn't it? It's your own limitation, you see. But if you work hard, no one can stop. You're achieving, the rank of all those lineage gurus that mentioned before. Including of holding of the lineage of realization. So ultimately, we have to hold ultimately everyone, whoever want to become Buddha, we need to receive all this first transmissional lineage, then set the foundation. Then we need to, through practice, we need to gain the lineage of the realization. So only with that we can become Buddha. Without that, no one can become Buddha, you see. So therefore, it is our job. The whole purpose of studying, doing Dharma discourse, receiving transmission is very much to set the blessing in us. And after that, we can do the homework. So you see, if we don't receive the transmission, then very much there's no basis where we can do the homework. So it's very much like that. Then what is referred to as the Mahayana mind training has been taught in the general in all the teachings, such as the scriptural collection that compose the secret words. You see, the Lojong teaching, Mahayana mind training, or the teaching on altruism is one of the most profound, most extensive, and extremely vast. It's very much emphasized in all over Buddha's treatise. There are volumes and volumes and volumes of Mahayana treatise. Everywhere the main theme of the teaching is about Mahayana mind training. Whether you use the Mahayana mind training or not. Even the teaching on Lamrim, even they don't use Mahayana mind training, but in fact the theme of the Lamrim is altruism. Whatever teachings on the earlier, the two capable beings part is the pathway to the Mahayana mind training. You see, so he's talking about that. Then similar, the secret word here is referring to the teachings on the true altruism, the altruistic attitude and altruistic wisdom. You see, so uh, very much, all the composition of the Indian great pandits and all great Tibetan great masters, either they reveal the secret word directly or indirectly, like such as the teachings on the Heart Sutra, uh, directly revealed the emptiness teaching, but then indirectly, reveal the altruistic, the general path, so an example like that, So here in this text, uh, in particular, in the chapter on the meditation in the Guide to the Bodhisattva Way of Life, as the following has been said. So the essence of the Mahayanic Dharma, or the essence of the entire Lojong teaching, or essence of this particular teaching, is as emphasized in all the scriptures. Also, the one of the reference root text that which composed by Shantideva, Bodhisattva Shantideva, which very much the core essence of the entire Mahayanic Buddha's Mahayanic Dharma, stated that recognizing oneself as a flawed, and seeing others as an ocean of virtue, you should relinquish self-grasping and practice as well the embracing of others. If you read in different translation, seeing then the faults that comes from cherishing myself, the oceanic qualities that comes from loving others, I shall lay aside all loves of self and gain the habit of adopting others. So, in one word, he's very much talking about the essence practice of the altruism, the Tong Len practice, uh, practice of taking and giving, or in another word, the practice of self-exchanging with others, letting go of the self-cherishing, self-centered attitude or self-centered ego, and that convert into a, sincere, wholehearted, uh, immeasurable, great love, great compassion, great altruism to the concern, the well-being of rest of the numberless sentient beings, rest of the numberless sentient beings. You see, so he's talking about that. Mhm. Then there are many other teachings. The reason to do that is because all the suffering that we experience, which we really do not wish to experience, even a slightest obstacle, slightest problem in life, isn't it? Which is same to all of us. We all agree. We all do not want. Even the little baby or even the animals, no one wish to experience any form of suffering. Only wish to experience happiness. It doesn't matter sensual or true happiness, doesn't matter. Just wish to experience pleasure, happiness, goodness, success, isn't it? So isn't it? But the thing is, all the happiness. But the thing is, even though we want that, but we very much like willingly. But in actual fact, it's ignorantly. But it looks like willingly committing the causes of our suffering. What it means that is, as long as you cherish self-cherishing attitude, as long as you grasp on the self-cherishing attitude, as long as you service the self-ego-centered demand, as long as we service our attachment, as long as we service our anger, as long as we service our jealousy, competitiveness, as long as we service all our delusion, as long as we support, we agree with all the diluted concept, diluted idea, that is very much committing the causes of all the suffering that we go through. Because of that reason, since suffering comes from cherishing, since all the suffering comes from self-cherishing attitude, then we should let go of it. It is the way for us to, end to the suffering, like that. Then, since we wish for happiness, which everyone does, but then ignorantly we we do not create causes for happiness, as if like we willingly do not wish to accumulate causes for happiness. that meaning is, even though cherishing the well-being of rest of the other sentient being, even though the generation of great compassion, great love, great generosity, etc., are the accumulation of causes for our happiness, but we hardly do that. We hardly express, immeasurable compassion. We hardly express immeasurable love. Our loves are very limited to our circle of family and friends. We can't expand our love, our compassion to our enemy, our strangers, or rest of the humanity, or rest of the sentient being, isn't it? Even though that being, if you're able to do that, that is the absolute way of accumulating causes for your happiness. But we don't do that, as if we do not wish to create causes for happiness. And the main reason for that is ignorant is the player. We are kind of ignorant, and delusion are the one that confusing us, between these two, what to be adopted, what to be abandoned. Rather adopt which to be abandoned, and abandon what to be adopted. We are completely do opposite. That's why samsara ends. That's why problem, there's endless problem in our day-to-day life, you see. So no question about endless samsara later, you see. So even in the very present moment, if we wish to be happy, if we do not wish to experience any inconvenience, then we cannot follow our delusion. We cannot follow our self-cherishing attitude. We have to follow the wisdom. We have to follow altruistic. We have to relate to our life, our wanting in altruistic way. You see. So if we are able to do that right in this very moment, you can end to the suffering, and you can experience the happiness. You see. So like that. So this is not just kind of blah blah. That's something to do with the long future. This can be so helpful in immediate right now level. If you are going through, let's say, physical kind of health issue, or something that you do not wish to, experience it, and you feel very depressed, you feel very unhappy, and then if you continue to be depressed, continue to look, focus on the limitation side, continue to focus on the false side, the negative side, you will continue to, be depressed. Depression will be deepened. The suffering will be more intense. You see, even though how much you want to be free from that suffering, but you are creating abundance of causes. Each time you think of, each time you reflect on the negative side, one more time, one extra, strength is given force to the negative side. You see. But then instead of that, you use the wisdom of karma. You say, you understand that this is a result of my past karma, and how fortunate that in a variable situation that I can still purify this definite karma by experiencing the result. I just have to be patient. This will overcome. You see. But if I didn't purify by experiencing now, the karma has the capability of increasing its power, its magnitude, and until that, it will make me to experience the suffering of hell realm, hungry ghost realm, animal realm, or those are unbearable suffering. So now, because of the trouble I have to go through now, I don't have to experience the heavy consequences, unbearable consequences in the future. So how lucky I am, how blessed I am. You feel uplifted, you feel meaning in that suffering. You see. Then on top of that, if you're able to, if you have more courage, if you wish to do more practice, then you can do Tong Len practice, which is, as mentioned before, essence of the altruistic dharma. You see, very powerful way to accumulate merit, very powerful way to purify the karma. You think that all the rest of the numberless sentient beings suffering ripen upon this self-cherishing attitude, this delusion, that which making me to suffer. You see, so there's a visualization you can do. You see, when you breathe in, that all the sentient beings suffering, whatever they may be, some are in the form of, like dark, like smoke, like smokes, or blood and purse, whatever. If it's about spirit harm, then you do, all the spirit harm, all the elemental harm, you visualize as a, dark smoke, smoke shoot like that. And all the um, diseases in the form of, blood and pus, you see. Then um, you visualize right at around your heart center here. There's kind of a very concrete, very depressed, very difficult, very impatient, agitated, that which causing you unhappy, causing you all these diseases and obstacle, which is the actually represents self-grasping attitude. So you take on to that self-grasping attitude. The moment that that negative force touch or reach to the self-grasping attitude, that negative force on your chest, instantly, completely, purified. Rest of the other sentient beings suffering in its causes, and also your own negative karma and your own sufferings. So train your mind like that. Then if you can afford to do even more, then whatever virtue that you have, whatever benefit you receive from this practice, all the resources you dedicate in the form of white light, in the form of golden light, in the form of nectar, in the form of whatever the sentient being need, like a medicine or shelter, or protection, you know, or you can just visualize golden bright color light that carry all the necessary needs for other sentient beings' well-being. Then send out, send out as vast as like the light rays of the sun, which without any discrimination, anyone exposed, everybody touched by the sunlight. Isn't it similar way? You think that all sentient beings reach out by that help from you, and everyone is purified, everyone is abide in the state of peerless happiness. So you can practice like that, you see. So if you practice like that in immediate level, not only purify the karma, the main root cause, but also it bring naturally impact you to be uplifted. You become more, you feel purposeful, meaningful. So even in the suffering, now you see full of virtue, full of meaning. So you feel worth experiencing the problem, you see. So this is how you do like that. Okay, so there's some meditational guide. So before doing that, you see, like again in the Shantideva's Buddhacharya and many other teachings, uh, if you can't think of many reasons to convince yourself cherishing others' well-being is good, and cherishing one's own self-centered demand is bad, if you can't give so many reasons, then you can just refer to the example of Buddha and the suffering sentient being. Maybe it could be yourself, you see. So Buddha, why Buddha become Buddha? Why someone become Buddha? Because of the cultivation of cherishing the well-being of others. Why you still can't become Buddha? Why you still suffering? Because of your service, the cherishing of self-cherishing attitude, you see, because of self-cherishing attitude. So by seeing these two differences, then you choose the right one. And then you try to follow that practice, so like that. So in this teaching, there's a particular meditational guide, it is so simple and it is so wonderful, and we can use as a meditational guide to in the name of Tong Len practice, or in the name of Lojong practice, or in the name of training your mind in altruism, or whatever name you give, but it is an essence practice, in a meditational guide. So I will read it. To distill the meaning of the verse such as this, what I have just quoted from Shantideva's Buddhist way of life, engage in the following contemplation. So generally speaking, there are 84,000 afflictions that cause us to wander in the silent existence. When condensed, they are subsumed under the 6 root afflictions and 20 derivative afflictions, 20 secondary afflictions. So which I have listed out, in earlier classes, in the past classes. So many of you will be very familiar about that. So I don't have to go through one by one. And at the end, and at the root of all of this lies, self-grasping. So root of all those delusions are the self-grasping. If this self-grasping magnify a little bit in more number, and sum of all the 84,000 defilements and 6 root and 23 20 the secondary affliction, you can sum into 3 poison: ignorant, attachment grasping, and aversion grasping. These 3 poisons, you see. So whatever it is, whether it's 3 poison or the secondary or the root afflictions or 84,000 defilements, all are the different colors, different phases of self-grasping attitude. All are different phases of self-grasping attitude. Okay, so we have to, as long as we remember that, like that, you see. Different colors, different faces, different manifestations of self-grasping attitude, including self-cherishing attitude, is one of the another manifestation or phases of self-grasping attitude. So when we meditate, we have to acknowledge that, you see. Then you understand like this: where no intrinsic reality exists, I have grasped as I or self and have taken it aside and fought for its sake. In reality, there's no intrinsic I. There's no intrinsically existing I and mind and and the rest of the phenomena. And meaning there's no inherently existing I and mind. There's no substantially existing I and mind. Even though that is the fact, but still we get confused, due to not realizing that. Then we have this false grasping to the false I, which is called as I grasping attitude. You see, grasp to the the false mind grasp as if the real I to the false I. So it doesn't mean there's no I. There is I. It doesn't mean there's no mind. There is mind. It is my body. It is my thing. It's my family. Etc. As a my country. All these are legitimate. Conventionally, definitely there. But that's a saying in the word. But subconsciously or subconsciously, our subconscious idea of saying me, me, in fact, you're referring to the false me, not the real me. Who is the real me? The interdependent arising me is the real me. Who is the false me? The intense, the I, the identity that appear or identity that exists to the false mind in the way is intrinsically existent or inherently existent, substantially existent. That I is a false I. That grasping is a false grasping. You see, so like that. So because of grasping to the false I and false self and false mind, then that bring up so many wrongdoings, such as citing to the false I. Then you bring aversion to the others. Whoever bring limitation to that. Such as attachment, grasping to the self, aversion to those things you don't like, or so-called as enemy or disliking things like that. You see, so because of that, then you create unbelievable negative karma. Is a negative karma that which will result in immediate level all form of suffering experiences and limitations. In long term, it will bring rebirth in the three lower realms. Like that, like such as heavy karma committed by aversion, towards the disliking, which against to the false I. Very much karma coming to be experienced in the hot hell, Vajra hell, hot hell, like that. You see, then heavy attachment, grasping, experience in the Preta realms, even hell realms, like that. You see. So because of this, what ought to have been positive karma has turned into a negative karma, and as a consequences, I have fallen into suffering. So not only to negative experiences or negative by its nature, indulging it commit negative karma, but even to of those virtuous one, like such as dharma practice, such as practice of generosity, etc. If we are not mindful, even though by nature is virtue, but when we engage in those activity, we carry the intrinsic mindset of inherent existence, of those phenomena, of those actions, like the object that you make charity, the 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 idea about the person yourself who's making charity, the receiver, everything, quoted by the idea of intrinsic or inherent existence. So in that basis of ignorance, even the virtuous conduct of charity also unable to become a pure virtuous conduct. It is still carry the limitations of negativities, which is talking about that. You see. So therefore, how crucial now to have the wisdom of emptiness. You see, if we have a wisdom of emptiness, then even in the negative, you don't see negative. You see empty of negative. You see, or even in the ignorant, you don't see ignorant. If in the wisdom of emptiness, when you go and investigate the ignorant, you cannot find ignorant. You will find a wisdom there, because you will find the lack of inherent existence of that ignorant. Ignorant is just simply confusion, confused idea. You see, so so therefore, it shows how crucial for us to have the wisdom of emptiness. So in any way, during our meditation, we have to talk to ourselves. We have to, have this kind of understanding, analytical understanding. So because of this, I ought to have been positive karma to also turn into negative karma. And as a consequence, I've fallen into suffering. What do you mean by that? Falling into suffering. You see, there's so much of virtue that we accumulate, cannot become cause of enlightenment, cannot become cause of liberation. But it is still become a cause, since it's virtue by nature, it becomes cause of some goodness. So where do we experience that goodness? In samsara, like such as taking rebirth in human being. Because of those virtue, we are able to avoid being born in the three law realm, and we will born in a higher realm like the human realm. One of the main cause to be reborn as a human is making charity, making generosity, one of them. Then another one is, observing morality. You see. Then the third one is, aspiring to, be born in the human realm. And the similar goes to the Pure Land, in God realm. Not Pure Land. Similar to the God and demigod realm, it requires the element of virtue to be born in these three higher realms. You see. So by creating the virtues by its nature, but without having the wisdom of emptiness, still courted by ignorant, then those virtues cannot become cause even to the Buddha's Pure Land. No question about liberation and enlightenment. It can become a cause within the three higher realm within samsara. Uh, uh, the proof example is like ourselves. We too accumulated, the causes to be born as a human in the past, like such as making charity, keeping morality, making aspiration. We born as human being, but we have plenty of problem, isn't it? Our body is subject of problem. Our body is subject of decay. Every single moment, we are getting older. We're losing strength of our body. You see, and at the end of the day, every body will perish from the life of any human being. Even the most powerful general, most powerful king, the wealthiest being in this world, in the past, they didn't live more than 100 or 150 or whatever. In today's time, no one will live, more than 150 to 100. Very much within 100 people dies. Even today's time, many monarchs, they pass away within 100 years. There's so many billionaires, they pass away. Even just during COVID, so many rich people pass away. Yeah, you see. So therefore, uh, Comparing to the three law realm, it is the life of the higher rebirth is the result of virtue, but unfortunately, those virtue are contaminated virtue, as mentioned here, like um, because of the ignorant, because of the self-grasping ignorant, what ought to have been positive karma has turned into a negative karma, and the consequences of that, I've fallen into suffering. It's still you reborn in samsara and suffer. You see, so now this is a very, very serious teaching that you know you have to come to able to differentiate that from now on I must accumulate virtue, which is pure virtue, not a contaminated virtue, not just in the name virtue. Many of virtue we do, like light offering, animal liberation, charity, by nature is all virtue, even praying, all these things by nature is virtue, but because of our not having the wisdom, free from the ignorant of the grasping, substantial grasping, inherent grasping, ignorant, the consequences is negative. It's still samsara, even though uh, you know we can label as a fortunate realm, pleasure, but all those pleasure, fortunate realm are suffering of change. So in reality, it is suffering. It's not a true happiness. You see. So therefore, uh, you know, the teachings describe that uh, when we do any form of virtuous practices, you do in the expense of voidness, expense of emptiness. Then in the attitude of altruism, when you dedicate, you dedicate in the three emptiness, like such as dedicate on myself, the good deeds that I have done, the merit, and the receiver or the purpose where you dedicate, all lies in the nature of lack of inherent existence. All lies in the nature of lack of intrinsic existence. So you say that, you try to understand that, and that helps to purify those contaminations of ignorance. That way, any slightest form of virtue that you accumulate, it surely become it is not only become a cause of higher rebirth, like human and God and whatever, but it also become cause of liberation. If we have a proper condition, complete condition, that virtue may able to deliver us to be reborn in the future time in the Buddha's pure land, or be reborn in to actualize liberation or even enlightenment. You see, so it's a very, very, very fine line there. So we have to know that. So I continue. So this is because on my part, I took the self's side and fought with others for its sake. In the future too, if I do not relinquish this self-grasping, I will roam in the cycle of existence as I do now. I have no doubt that it is this self-cherishing demon, the so-called I or self, that forced me to suffer in all three times, in the past and the present and in the future, all because of taking its side and fighting on its behalf. Hmm? Taking the side of self-cherishing and fighting for its demand. It's talking about. There is nothing in what I see, hear, or think about that I have not harnessed for the sake of the self. So true, isn't it? It has not enabled me to get any further from self-existence. So, so I must now let go of it as best as I can. You see, now through the help of teaching, now you have to realize. Now you have to really make, firm determination that I will make sure any virtue I accumulate become a pure virtue. Any from now on, I will make sure that I truly care for myself by caring for the rest of the other sentient being, by eliminating the root cause of my suffering, the self-cherishing attitude. Make a firm decision and try to pursue the life on the basis of that. I must let go of it for the sake of becoming a heroic bodhisattva. So like that. Then continue thinking thus, let go of its entirety, not partially, entirety. Let go of naturally and with the ease, and let go of it is by thoroughly dismantling. So here, if you relate to the applications of the antidote to the negation. So here the negation is self-grasping attitude and self-cherishing attitude. Uh, the similar way how those are in on the path, like the 10 bhumis, how they eliminate their negation. You see, uh, uh, first they accumulate stores of merit. Then they equip with the right wisdom, which is the antidote. Then after that, they get into the meditative state, where they bring where they bring no more of the negation in your system. Then reinforce and continue with the meditative equipoise until that you uh, uh, within that session that you achieve the cessation, complete cessation. Not only no more in your system, but you completely bring absolutely no more, because you're completely eradicated by achieving the cessation. So it's very much talking about that. So thinking that I let go of entirety. So it's very much uh, uh, mm, uh, so you have this motivation. I need to really eradicate from the root. So you need to gather all the resources for that, like a merit of wisdom and merit of method, isn't it? Then the second one, let go it naturally, is very much you are in the meditative state of the path, which is there's no obstacle. Mm, Parjamelam. Then with ease, which is very much the third level, you continue to stay in that meditative equipoise where there's no more of where your state of continuum is in the natural state of free from the obstruction of the negation. Then uh, through that ease, through that continuation of ease, then you let go of thoroughly dismantling it, which is the state of achieving the cessation. So you can relate to that part of teaching, like that. So in a very loose language is, whenever you want to purify something, you have to first the amount of the negation, how much that you want to purify. Then accordingly you need to accumulate all the full force of the dedicated antidote. Otherwise the negative is so huge, antidote is so weak, then you can't. You will be overwhelmed. You see, you can't do the job. So first you recognize the negation. It is false. It is what it is, exactly it is. The person diagnose the problem. Then after that you gather all the resources for the antidote. Then after that you have to apply the antidote. You see, so the applying the antidote also have a stages. You cannot expect apply immediately will be completely eradicate. It's not possible. You need to be patient. You need to in our normal life we need to repeat the antidote again and again, again and again, again and again. We need to practice again and again, maybe for months, maybe years. Then only you'll be able to overcome. You see. So but what I mentioned before is when someone is already on the stages of the path, then when they negate the negation, that is the process. But in our common language, in our common practice, in our day-to-day life, it is very much talking about you never give up. Be consistent in the applications of the antidote to the negation again and again and again, again and again, repeat again and again until that you completely gain cessation from it. Like that. So you have to work hard. It's not easy, not easy. You have to work hard. Uh, how much delusion did work hard for us until we are so habitual. Now we have to work, if not more, but not less. Otherwise, we won't able to overcome delusion, like that. Oh, then I continue. You can't say that sentient beings are by themselves generally not worthy, for they are all our kind parents. You see, sometimes we get lazy, We say, as long as I take care of my family, I take care of myself, who cares about the rest of the other sentient being. So sometimes if we are not mindful, it's so easy to lose our force of altruism. So therefore, you always have to remind it that all sentient beings are worthy because they all have been your parent. Numberless times. You can prove that. When you learn karma thoroughly, you can prove that. You see. So with that keeping in heart, then you work for the whole sentient beings purpose all the time. So therefore, imagine that you take away the negative action, the cause, and the suffering, and the fruit, and the persist in the sentient beings, suffering that fruit that persists in the sentient being. Mm. Take them away, and if take them away as if shearing them off with a sharp razor, and imagine that they comes to the realize upon your own body. So it's talking about the Tong Len practice I described before. Then imagine that your own happiness and the virtues ripen upon sentient being, like that. Then meditate on the reversal and exchange of these two situations. So you can do that, either sometime, you share your merit benefit to them first, then take their limitations to yourself later, or sometime take limitation to your first, then share the benefit, later. So you can, or you can also do for today. For today you only give, and for tomorrow's session you only take. Or in one day, if you do a few sessions, the first session you only do taking of other suffering, purified that way. Then the second session you focus on only giving, and benefit that. You can do like that, you see. So it's meaning like that. You should also mentally sow the root of the virtue of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to that they comes to fruition on sentient being. Yeah. This is the real meaning of Mahayana mind training, the master says. You see, so Mahayana mind training, the essence is, achieving, as I mentioned before, achieving the result of Tong Len practice. You're really able to take entire numberless sentient beings suffering onto you, and free them, give all virtues to them and abide them in the state of full enlightenment. That's it. Or the mind training or Lojong practice, Lojong teaching means, you're really able to self-exchange with the others, as discussed before. So these are the essence of what the master says. Or then Kimbowa state that what is called mind training is sacrificing oneself and having respect for other sentient beings. So sacrificing oneself implies, if necessary, even allowing this very ground of self to become lost. Since this demon of self-cherishing has caused us to suffer since beginningless self-existence. So you see, so again here, not to get misunderstood. It doesn't mean you destroy yourself, you alienate yourself. It doesn't mean like that. So here, whenever I talk about self, it's talking about the false self, and talking about the relinquishing of the self-cherishing, the ego is talking about that. Of course, you are the first person to be cared. In order to benefit other, you have to be strong enough to benefit other, isn't it? For that, you need to care for yourself. You see, so not to get misunderstood. You see, so he says sacrifice oneself, apply the necessary allowing to oneself. In the ground of the self to become lost, the ground of the self grasping to be lost. Talking about that. So it connotes many things. The master says, cultivating respect for other sentient beings refer in general to never abandoning the beings of the three realms of self-existing. The cultivating respect or cherishing other sentient being, what really meaning is uh, uh, you see, not abandoning of your care, your compassion, of all the sentient beings of the three worlds. all the sentient beings of the six realms. It's talking about that. Since all have been our parent, we should cultivate respect for them and strive to be the benefit to them through gifts of our body, speech, and mind, free of any sense of caution, the master says. So, so in the understanding of the value of cherishing the well-being of the rest of the other sentient being, and the limitation of cherishing of the self-grasping, cherishing of self-cherishing attitude, then you dedicate your body, speech, and mind, and everything, without any hesitation, without any doubt that okay, if I do that, it will harm me. If I do that, it will bring limitation to me. If I do that, whether I will accumulate merit or not, I don't know. If I do that, whether other will really benefit or not, without having all this doubt, you do that with, without any sense of caution, means selflessly, wholeheartedly. That's what the teaching says. That's what the master says. So like that. Okay. So thank you very much. I will stop here. Okay. So now we do short dedication. So whatever merit that we accumulate from this session and all the merits that accumulated by past, present, future Buddhas by rejoicing their merit, and also merit that accumulated by ourselves in the past, and all the merit that we accumulate in the future, collectively we dedicate to all sentient beings to be free from suffering, its causes, karma, and delusion, and actualize from temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness, enlightenment. May this collective merit be a complete cause, this pandemic, the war, the natural disaster, the diseases, all to be, including of those conflicts, those sufferings that individually experience in anywhere in the world, to be end right this very moment and actualize peace, happiness, virtues, liberation, enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause. All the leaders of the world, the leaders of organizations, the leaders of those who lead family, and yourself who lead your life, free from negative emotions such as self-cherishing attitude and self-grasping attitude, and fill the heart with the full of altruistic attitude of loving kindness, compassion, and altruistic wisdom of selflessness and emptiness, so that anyone under in their leadership can able to enjoy only peace, happiness, perfect virtue, and enlightenment. May this collective merit be a complete cause. All the also dedicate to the health of Stephanie, who in fact went through quite a unwell for some time, but now she's recovering well. Stephanie, who make all this teaching possible, all this Lojong teaching possible, for everyone around the world, from National Office of Australia. So amazing. So she was a bit unwell for the past weeks, and now she's recovering. So everyone, we collectively dedicate for Stephanie and also Peter, the national officer, for both of them to always enjoy good health, long life, and fulfill all their mundane and spiritual wishes, so that they can able to, like now, dedicate full time, dedicate wholeheartedly, full of altruism, compassionately to all the beings benefit and the benefit of the preservation of Dharma, benefit to fulfill our Guru's wishes, like Guru, like Jebjanam Subramacharya Lama Yeshe, the holy wishes like that. And also dedicate this collective merit to all the Dharma centers, all the virtuous organizations like monastery, nunnery, Dharma centers, the including of your prayer shrine at your home. Be free from all the inner outer secret obstacles, and be the conducive conditions to actualize extensive learning, and full of aspiration, especially in difficult time, whenever you go to your prayer room, whenever you relate to your shrine, even you make water bowl offering, light offering, do prostration, or even in difficult time, you just look at the holy object on your altar, become a great inspiration, great stand, great enlightenment, great awakening, great support for you, be so blessed, then then as well as bring all the inspiration and encourages to live a life artistically, and also contribute to the preservation of Dharma by extensive learning, as well as actualizing realization on the stages of path. like that. May this collective merit be complete cause. All the good people in this world, like such as Sonas Dalai Lama, all your spiritual gurus, and yourself and your family members, who are really contributing in your very best. Even just like spending time learning Dharma, like this session. We didn't talk any nonsense. We only, whether we're able to practice or not, but at least everyone come together with good intention and talk all the altruistic thing, nice thing, wonderful thing, virtue thing. That itself is a great contribution to the world peace and happiness, and make the world better place with better energy, better collective virtuous karmic collection. And whatever experiences of the samsara is the individual and the collective karma. So more people create virtue, more people spend time committing virtue. That's how contribute to the world. So therefore, also you and your family members, always enjoy good health, long life, and fulfill all your aspirations accordingly. Then we understand that dedicate ourselves, the merit and the purpose that we dedicate all our lies in the nature of lack of substantial existence, lack of inherent existence, lack of true existence, lack of independent existence. All exists in the nature of interdependent arising. So therefore, all your effort is not wasted. Just matter of time. It will all accomplish. All our prayers will accomplish like that. Okay. So if you have any specific dedication to be done in this collective, platform, please do dedicate for yourself while I recite these prayers. O Jawade Nudo Lama Sanjo to Jona Doachi Jamaluba de Sala Gobasho, Chanjusem Jorim Boche Majapanam, Kiwani Bomba, Konego Pevajo, Tony Tower and Boche Majapanam, Kiwani Bomba, Konego Pevajo, Tower and Boche Majapanam, Kiwani Bomba, Konego Pama Semjetam Jetan using a rotam Jeta Doma, the Josabakana Sujo, the Takunji Molam to Euro, Semjana Bachini, but you don't let Taji to the name of Tajuman, Chamebo, that you somebody other. The Takunji Josodalo Jawa, the Tatam Jerodon, the Zoja Jawa, the Mo, about the Daji, so when you sample teacher of the Mowarai. Carrera Govation Independent, the Homology, and Jerez about this Catholic Shabbat, but the thing is to change the Jamuja, the job of Kuzo, which shows up government. That's all the Jagondo shut and show Juzelam and Kuzer of the Nangotilla, about the Los Antemetum and Saturday to Museta to Kejuro, Che, Javacondo, and Alamada Tamechi, Pella Longe, Sadanam, and thereafter the Doje Changi, Gombang. Nurdo show better than so amigo patient over the same general so much children to touch it. Tembaji then comes to Jumba, Temba Nivation to Saway, then the polish to Temba Urine, Tashi show the model at Sendel and Yemembo and the needs a top of the Kunjo some ye Tashi show. Okay, thank you very much. Please take good care of yourself and take good care of each other. Okay, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.